Right. And tension is something that kind of creeps up on you. You don't realize it starts to feel normal. So you forget how you should feel. So especially like declining hormones, you don't know what lack of tension feels like. So massage helps you get back to that like basic level.
Welcome to Suburban Warrior, the podcast that will impact, inspire, and empower you to transform your mindset and become the badass warrior that you are. I'm your host and fellow warrior, Chrissy Pfeiffer, former clinician and corporate marketing exec turns multi-passionate entrepreneur, performance and life coach, and mom to 4 not-so-little warriors. Each week, I will bring you honest conversations with inspiring guests to share their stories of resilience, optimism, success, and simple yet effective strategies so that you transform your thoughts and change your behavior to get the results you want in your life. You will be empowered to take action, warrior up, and believe in you. Let's do this. What's up, warriors? Welcome back to another episode of the Suburban Warrior Podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy Pfeiffer, back this week with another awesome suburban warrior here to share her expertise with us. And today we are going to talk about the very fun subject of massage therapy. I think that as women, especially as women in midlife, we have a lot of very busy schedules, a lot of things to do. And I think that, it's not always first on our list to take care of ourselves in certain ways. And I know massage therapy is probably one of those things that sort of gets shoved down to the bottom of the list, thinking that it might be a little self-indulgent or we don't have time for it. It's something we don't want to waste money on. But I think that theory and the way that we think about that should shift because there are so many amazing medical benefits for our minds, for our bodies, and for our health to, if you want to call it a treat yourself to a massage or, do it on a regular basis. But today, my guest is going to tell us all the reasons why we should be getting massages on a regular basis. So let me introduce my guest, Sall. With 20 years of experience in the field of massage therapy, Sall brings a wealth of expertise and a deep passion for promoting health and wellness through therapeutic touch. Her journey in massage therapy began with a strong academic foundation, graduating at the top of her class from a renowned massage school. This achievement set the stage for an illustrious career dedicated to excellence and continuous learning. Sall's specialization in therapeutic and sports massage has allowed her to work with a diverse range of clients, from everyday individuals seeking relief from stress and pain to elite athletes performing on the world stage. She had the honor of serving as the head massage therapist for USA Rugby men's national team for a decade, a role that included supporting the team through the 2016 Olympics, as well as the 2011 and 2015 Rugby World Cups. This experience honed her skills in addressing the unique needs of high-performance athletes, helping them achieve peak performance and recover from intense physical exertion. Welcome to the podcast, Sall.
Thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
Yes, I am so thrilled to have you here. I think this is going to be such an interesting topic for us to discuss because I think there's so many deeper levels to things like massage therapy, the different types of massage therapy, cupping, things like this that are, we hear about, but we don't really always understand. We think of them as just relaxing us. But I think we can get into so many deeper reasons why massage therapy is so important. So before we get into all the fun stuff, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I grew up around here on the main line. And then after college, I was a business major. And after college, I was a horse trainer, but I was playing women's rugby. And I didn't want to continue training horses. I worked for a beautiful farm, but my goals had gone. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to work with my hands and work for myself. And I got a lot of body work when I was young. I was very lucky. My dad took me to a chiropractor and a massage therapist when I was in high school. Okay. So I grew up thinking that these were very important parts of my life. And from riding and impacting my spine so much, I constantly needed care. So I just kind of talked to my massage therapist, and she was like, I think it's something you should try. And I was very into the human body, and working with horses, it's all about how they move. They can't tell you what's wrong. So it's judging, like they might be limping because their saddle doesn't fit correctly. So you have to figure out what's wrong with the horse in general. So that translates to massage therapy. So I gave it a try, and I remember my brother was like, "Are you going to be able to touch people?" And I was like, "I guess I'll try." And I went to a really great school, and then I did a corrective massage program after it. And then I was very lucky. I opened a practice right away, sharing space with a chiropractor in Wayne. I did that for about 7, 8 years. And then because I played at a high level of women's rugby, one of my coaches was on the national team staff. And so he invited me to a tournament. And then that's how I got involved with USA Rugby. And so for a decade, I traveled internationally, all over the world, working with them. And so I quit my private practice to do that. And then before COVID, I stopped and started my own practice again.
Wow, that's really awesome. I think your background is so interesting. Like you said, working with the horses and with therapy, because any little thing that's off with them, they can't really tell you. So it's something that you really have to figure out, and you have to figure out like biodynamically what is causing what issue,
Right.
really looking at them as a whole, just as really we all should be with the human body, right? Because sometimes if our hip is hurting, it's not our hip that's the issue, right? It's something else that's going on.
Exactly. And horses, they're so high tech with them. I mean, they've been doing acupuncture, magnetic blankets. They have all the newest supplements to them, massage.
Yeah, like basically all the things that we have for
Right.
us now.
But they've done it before we have.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
then really what we need to know is what are the horses
Right.
getting now that
Exactly.
we're not?
Exactly. Right.
Oh my God, it's fascinating. Let's start getting into sort of just the different types of therapy that you do. But let's start basic, because even if you walk into not just like, more of like a performance or athletic place, if you walk in to get a massage at like a spa, there's going to be like a menu, right? And it's going to be Swedish, deep tissue. Sometimes a hot rock is on there, these basic things that a lot of times I look at it and I'm like, what does this really mean? What's the difference? So tell us just a little bit about maybe the difference in those types of your basic massage therapy.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's so many different types. It does get confusing. And when I started, I used to think I needed to muscle my way through massage and that there wasn't benefits to other kinds, but there's so many benefits to, say, like your basic Swedish massage, which is what you would get in a spa, most
Right.
likely. I mean, that has relaxation benefits. It gets you out of fight or flight. It helps your circulation. And basically all massage boils down to is blood flow and creating more blood flow in your body. So that's Swedish is your basic, and it's usually not deeper. And with that, there's like hot stones, which just drives heat through it. It's just a way to bring heat to your body. There's aromatherapy, there's reflexology, so all of that. And then there's deep tissue, which it gets a little confusing because it doesn't necessarily mean harder. It just means you're going to the deeper levels of the tissue.
Okay.
So it's like an onion. You have lots of different layers of muscle fiber. So it still shouldn't hurt, which a lot of people want to. That again gets you into fight or flight, which is not what you want, because your body is not going to heal when you're in fight or flight.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
See, I think I was very much like you in the camp of, if I'm not like about to jump off the table while I'm getting massage, then it wasn't, why I went there or whatever. Cause I always was like deep tissue, lots of pressure, thinking that that's what my body needed. But now that you're talking about fight or flight, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, really we're trying to activate the parasympathetic nervous system while we're there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not be going into adrenaline, fight or flight mode.
Right. So if your body's fighting me, it's going into flight mode. So that does the opposite of what we want you to do. It relax your muscles and get you out of that into your parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah. Makes sense. So really is like a deep tissue massage, should that be reserved for, maybe like a high performance athlete or someone who works out a lot, who's really like looking to like get into this a deeper layer of like certain muscles?
No, not necessarily. I mean, yes, for those reasons, but I mean, you could have some imbalance in your body and you need to get a little bit deeper into sections. Like, I basically call my massage a fusion because I don't know what type of massage I do. Because I've
Okay.
learned so many techniques over the years that every massage is different. Sometimes I do a basic massage if somebody just needs touch
Yeah.
and they're just here to talk to me and to relax. But other times, if I find an area that needs deeper work, I do go in deeper, depending on what they want or what I sense they want for that session.
Okay. That makes sense. I like that.
Mhm.
Assess when they're on the table kind of thing.
Right. Because I mean, they
Yeah.
could come in for one thing one week, and then the next week they have a lot of stress going on. And what they want is to basically to zone out. So then I tailor it to that need. It's
Okay.
basically reading everybody every time.
Yeah. Okay. What's another type?
Well, there's aromatherapy, there's lymphatic drainage, which is very popular, which ma- regular massage addresses, but lymphatic is to get waste products out of your system and to help with fluid retention. It's really good for after surgeries,
Okay.
it's cosmetic reasons.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
relaxing.
I think lymphatic drainage, like you said, it's really popular. I feel like I've heard the term so much more in the last like 6 months to a
Uh-huh.
year. I see videos of people doing it to themselves. So is that something you do as well?
No, I don't specifically do
You
it.
don't.
It's
Okay.
a sequence of massage that goes in the direction of lymph nodes. I mean, what I do, all massage is going to help get rid of that metabolic waste
Right.
and help stimulate the lymphatic system. But I don't do the sequence of lymphatic drainage.
Understood.
It's
Okay.
kind of
But
out of my wheelhouse. I
yeah.
thought about taking classes, but there's just so much to take.
Yeah. Okay. But that's another specialty type that if someone was looking for, I mean, to, like you said, detox, get rid of some metabolic waste, some of it is for, like you said, cosmetic reasons and stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it helps with fluid retention.
Gotcha. Okay. Great. What about cupping? What is that?
So cupping is great. I love cupping. So
Okay.
it's thousands of years old. It comes from a Asian background, and it got really popular in 2016 when Michael Phelps had cup
Yes.
marks on on his back, and all my athletes were like, "Oh, we want to do that." I'm like, "We have been doing that."
My gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So a cupping is basically like a vacuum. So it lets you, instead of compressing the muscles like in a massage, it lifts the muscle tissue and the fascia and the fibers. So it helps get blood flow underneath.
Oh,
So, which is what you want. I mean, pressing down on it is really beneficial too, but this lifts it and allows you to get deeper. And I have these really great cups that have red light therapy and go in and go out. So it really suctions the fascia deeper on a deeper level. So some people love it. I find it really relaxing. Some people don't like the marks that come with it, which are very superficial. It's not like a bruise, but it looks kind of like a bruise. But some people don't like it, but I think it's really beneficial, and I try to encourage my clients to incorporate it into a session.
so how long do the marks stay on you?
Depending on your skin type, I mean, sometimes it brings stagnant blood flow to the area.
Okay.
So sometimes they're deeper and sometimes they're non-existent, but I would say 3 to 5 days. Sometimes I can faintly see them for a week. So I mean, maybe you don't want to
Okay.
do it during swimsuit season. If you
Right.
care. I mean, most people are fine with it.
Okay. And is it something like, is it painful as it's happening?
It feels like pressure. I find it relaxing, but it's tight because it's suctioning up your skin and your fascia. So it's pressure and then it releases. And mine, because they go in and out, it's pressure and then releases. So it
Okay.
feels like tight, but I don't think it hurts.
And like, how long are the cups on for?
They're only on for like 10 minutes. You don't
Oh,
really want to leave them on longer because then they can do damage and bruise your skin.
Okay, I see. And is it something that you add to like a massage session?
Most people do. I
Okay.
basically do everything in my sessions. I do it, it's included because I just feel like it's you're paying for my time and it helps me do my job.
Okay.
So I do that. I do a thing called muscle scraping, which is
Mm.
basically it was gua sha. So again, it's
Okay.
thousands of years old. And then somebody, a physical therapist, patented it, made the tools metal, and charges thousands of dollars to take the course. And so
Yep.
physical therapists will call it Graston.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
now they call it muscle scraping. And I also have these new high tech tools that heat up and vibrate. So it really gets the fascia. So I do that. I do kinesiotaping, but all of that's included in my sessions.
Okay. So first, tell us exactly what muscle scraping is, because I know what it is because I've had it done at PT before, and I know exactly the tool you're talking about. But for those that don't know, tell us what that is.
So it's a metal tool. They used to use spoons. So you
Okay.
can use multiple things, but they make specific tools for it. And it basically it scrapes the superficial layer of your skin. It can go deeper. Again, I don't think it should go too deep because I think then you're causing damage to the tissue. But it's the same thing. It's creating blood flow to the area, and that's what heals our muscles and our cells is blood flow.
Yeah. And the tool looks like it almost looks like a tongue depressor, right?
Exactly.
Except
Yeah,
that it's
it's like a
metal.
metal tongue depressor. That's
Yes.
one. I mean, they make them in all shapes and sizes, but that's basically what it looks like. Yes.
Okay. Yes. It's just like a piece of metal. And you use it, and as you're sort of scraping, that's causing the blood flow to kind of come up to the surface
Yes.
and treat and restore that area that you're working on.
Correct.
And
Yes.
do you do that on all areas, or are there certain areas of the body that you like to do that on?
It's really good on forearms and for carpal tunnel. It helps
Okay.
a lot. It's really good for plantar fasciitis, so on the bottom of your feet and your calf. But I've done it on my runners. I do it on their front of their legs, their quads, the back of their legs, their hamstrings. I do it on a lot of shoulders. It basically can be done all over. It's just how deep you go.
Okay. And then what is the kinesiology tape
So kinesiotape,
or
it's often
kinesio
you
tape?
see. Well, it's called both. They
Okay.
call it the brand's called K tape, but they have lots of different things.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what you see on a lot of athletes as well. A lot of volleyball players. It's that colorful tape. It comes in all colors. Like I use a nude color as well. It's interesting because there's lots of controversy about K tape because there's no real studies behind it. But what it does is it can help with bruising. It's the way you put the tape on. So it's a stretchy kind of tape that you lay on the surface of your skin that again lifts up and creates blood flow. So and it helps a little bit of support. I think it just gives you a reminder, like do you use it to put your shoulders back? Do you use it
I'm going to sit up straight.
for again for plantar fasciitis, for carpal tunnel syndrome? They use it on the legs and the shoulder. I just worked with a team in Dubai, and they use it on their shoulders a lot. It kind of just lifts and holds it, but it's not the traditional white tape that's very rigid. It moves,
Yeah.
it flexes and moves with your body.
And is this something that you put on during the massage, or you do it after and then it stays on the body?
You do it after, and it stays on the body for like you can leave it on as you shower, and it stays on for like 3 to 5 days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's great. I mean, and it can't, the great thing about it is it can't hurt you. And
Yeah.
there's thousands of ways you can apply it, but it's never going to hurt you.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds awesome. And again, it's just another therapeutic
It's
way
a tool. They all call them like
yeah.
tools in your
Yeah.
toolbox. It's just
Yeah.
another, you don't have to, but
Yeah.
it's a great use of resources.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any other therapies that you do that you love that we may not know about?
Great red light into, I just have a red light lamp, and at my clinic we have red light therapy, which is again it helps reduce inflammation. It's great for the skin. It helps the healing process. It helps cell turnover. So I
Yeah.
do that, and I think basically, I mean, my hands is my main
Yeah.
tool.
That's so amazing, though. That's so great. So, well, getting back to the red light therapy, that is something too, I feel like is fairly new,
Mhm.
right? That we're hearing more and more about it. Obviously, all these infrared saunas and red light
Right.
therapy. And really, you can't have too much of that, right?
No, 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 it's
Yeah.
great. I mean, and you should do it to be effective. You want to do it a couple times a week. That's like
Yeah.
red light masks are really popular for your skin. And you want to do those like 3 to 5 times a week. They have red light panels now that you can buy. We have like a bed that, light that goes over you in like a bed form. So it's
Okay.
great. I mean, it's again, it's not going to hurt you. It's very relaxing. So it's a great tool.
Okay. Yeah. I've done the red light therapy. I have a red light mask that I use. I think it's, I think it's just another, like you said, tool that really can help at the cellular level.
Right. And it
Which,
helps promote collagen. So
yeah.
it's great for the skin.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. Okay. So tell us, what do you think might be some of the benefits of massage therapy for women, and maybe specifically for women in midlife? Like, massage therapy is great for everybody, but are there any specific reasons why, especially women in midlife, should be taking the time to get a massage?
Yeah. Well, I think, first of all, everybody works so hard on their body. And if you're working out a lot, your muscles are built during recovery. And so you
Mm,
want to help your muscles recover faster and quicker. And so massages should be part of your training program, like recovery. And that's why they brought me on to USA Rugby, is because the coach was so big on recovery and knew that if you don't recover your muscles correctly or well, then it doesn't matter how much training you do. You're overtraining your body. But there are lots of reasons for perimenopausal and menopausal women. I mean, it's basically the benefits of massage, but when you lose estrogen or if it fluctuates, it causes muscle tension and joint pain. So
yeah.
that's a big one. So massage can help relieve that, obviously, because it's going to relieve the muscle pain, which is going to help the joints.
Yeah, we're very aware of that.
Right,
Muscle, yes. I think a lot of women, unfortunately, are dealing with, muscle tension and joint pain in perimenopause. And I think a lot of women start experiencing those symptoms without even realizing that it's because of the, decline in estrogen, or that they're even in perimenopause, and they end up seeking all this help, taking lots of Advil and ibuprofen for anti-inflammatories, but it's really because of the lack of estrogen, where massage therapy could really be a big help there.
right. And tension is something that kind of creeps up on you. You don't realize it starts to feel normal. So you forget how you should feel. So
Yeah.
especially like declining hormones, you don't know what lack of tension feels like. So massage helps you get back to that like basic level.
Yeah, it's a great point.
So there's been studies on this. It reduces hot flashes. It's not going to eliminate hot flashes, but it helps regulate the nervous system. It reduces their frequency and severity.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Huge,
Yeah,
huge.
huge. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something, it's probably not very tangible for you, but it's something you notice over time.
Yeah.
It improves your sleep quality because it gets you out of fight or flight, and it helps get you into that deep relaxational stage. So that's another thing, is people have problems with insomnia and sleep when they're in
Oh my
midlife.
gosh. Yes.
Waking up
Yes.
with getting your cortisol levels down, because the cortisol levels wake you up in the middle of the night. It increases blood flow, like I said, which can alleviate
Mm.
swelling, helps regulate body temperature, and reduces fatigue. And then it helps the skin because it's helping blood flow. And during menopause, you can get drier, less elastic skin, and massage stimulates circulation and promotes hydration.
Awesome. Oh my
Right.
gosh.
Well, I mean,
I need a massage like right now.
yeah. And then
For all
again,
of the
going
above.
back to the lymphatic drainage, it helps reduce waste. And then emotionally, it helps reduce stress and anxiety. I mean, that's just proven. And that helps with depression symptoms, and it helps balance your hormones.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. I mean, it's all similar to benefits of massage in general, but it's really, it's more amplified when you're going through these cycles.
Exactly. I was going to say it's all, the symptoms of massage, but I feel like, everything that you just talked about, so many people are experiencing. And, knowing that there is a natural therapy out there that also feels really good and
Right.
helps to relax you and can help you with all of these symptoms, mind, body. It's a wonderful modality to look into when you are experiencing these things because it doesn't help with one thing, right? You take medicine, you take a pill, it usually helps with one symptom. Massage therapy can help you with everything that you just listed, and that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just the basic power of touch is so amazing. Like
Yeah.
I have clients that come in weekly that, one client, I mean, it's basically just touch therapy. And
Yeah.
I mean, we talk the whole time, which is great. It was just not what I do with all my clients, but for this specific person,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's just with babies, you see the power of touch. So
Yeah.
human touch is just so important to have in general.
Yeah. You're so right. And in this sort of isolating world that we live in now, just being able to talk and touch is therapeutic.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's all those studies about hugs and how long you should hug for and
Yeah.
how that reduces levels in your body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All the different neurotransmitters that are released just from a hug.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's amazing. So what do you recommend is, the frequency at which people should be getting massages?
That's always a tough question because I hate telling people that they need something, but I
Yeah.
think you listen to your body. So, I
Right.
mean, again, I have weekly clients. I have a teenager that's a weekly client right now. And
Yeah.
that's not my goal is to not have you in all the time, but it depends on what you're coming in for. If you're coming in for just general relaxation and touch, then you can come in weekly. What I
Yeah.
like to say is it's usually when you get injured, it's like a trash can and you've been filling that trash can for months. And then you
Yeah.
do one thing like making the bed and turning. That's a big thing is turning and bending that set it over and made all the garbage topple out. So what you want to do is empty the trash can so you just keep it emptied so you don't get to that point. So if you do get injured, it's so much easier to get back to a baseline. So
Yeah.
I like to say once a month is really beneficial for maintenance and prevention of
Okay.
injury.
Okay. And you think athletes, I mean, obviously you worked on the Olympic team. Those are really, premier athletes. But do you think people that, maybe women that are working out, lifting weights, a couple times a week, like you said, really working to take care of their bodies, should they be getting massages pretty frequently?
Definitely. Like I said, they're putting so much time into your workouts and into your body, and you're watching what you eat and you're watching your fluid levels and your nutrients that you recovery is just as important as the making of the muscles because that's
Yeah.
when they repair is when they get bigger. So it's really important. I mean, it's like you said, sometimes it's thought of as a little bit of self-indulgent, but it's
Right.
not. I mean, if you're spending all this time on your body, you should be helping it heal and promote range of motion, more flexibility. I mean, it's just going to help you with your workouts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when you said earlier, muscle is built during recovery. That really sort of hit me because I thought to myself, I think myself included, I think a lot of us think that muscle is built during our workouts. It's built by lifting our heavy weights and what we're doing. And it's not always easy to take some recovery time, but that is true. The muscle is built during recovery.
Right. I mean, you have to work out to
Right.
increase those muscles, but it's creating micro tears in your muscles. And when they heal, sometimes they don't heal properly or in alignment. And that's where the massage can help, healing them and making them in alignment. But that's how your muscles grow is by micro tears.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, again, it's just such a great reminder for us because, I think, we forget that we need that time. We need that recovery time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just, again, getting your body out of fight or flight is just so important for so many reasons. I mean, like we just talked about,
Yeah.
you can't relax, you can't reduce stress without getting out of fight or flight.
Yeah. No, not at all. And even if you try, you really need to, you know, just like you said, bring down those cortisol levels
Right.
so that your body can be in a place to be able to heal itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for everybody.
Absolutely. And for all the reasons you listed, especially important for women in midlife who
Yes.
may be experiencing maybe no symptoms, maybe one, or maybe all of those symptoms that massage therapy can help with.
Yeah, I fully agree. I mean, it's something I learned my wheelhouse used to be male Olympic athletes, but before that,
Yeah.
I worked in this area and now I'm working in this area again. And I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times my clients have brought up menopause and the fatigue they have from it and the mood swings and the muscle tension. So, I mean, that's really my client base right now.
Yeah. Well, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, tell us where my listeners can find you.
So I'm in Villanova, Pennsylvania at a
Okay.
place called Core Clinic. So we're about 2 years old and it's
Awesome.
a great wellness clinic that has chiropractic. We have a functional medicine doctor. We have a company that does stem cells and they also do facials and fillers and that kind of stuff. But it's really to bring, and we're all independent businesses that want to help promote each other and create a medical system where people work off of each other. So the chiropractor and I work together. We have a lot of clients that come see me first and then goes to see him. And then we talk about it and we discuss it. So, then the same with the functional medicine doctor. So we know what's going on with them in that respect. So it's a really amazing place that I'm really happy that I found.
Oh, that's wonderful. It sounds amazing. Sounds like,
Yeah, it's great.
all these different functions, but, all coming together for, to really work with the whole body, look at the root cause of why someone might be experiencing something. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's great. And it's a beautiful building, a beautiful space. So it's great to come to work every day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the podcast and sharing all of your expertise with us. Like I said, I feel like I need a massage so bad right
Well, come in.
now.
I'd love to have you.
Yeah, after this, I'm like, oh my gosh. I feel like,
Right.
the more you talk about it, you're like, oh my gosh, I think I got to go get my roller and roll out.
Right. Yeah. Rollers are great tools too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So if you don't have someone's hands, use a roller.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We will be sure to link all of your information in the show notes so all my listeners can find you and find out more about the Core Clinic. And I want to thank you for being here, for being an amazing suburban warrior, for all that you do to help keep not just women, but keep everybody healthy and happy so that they can live their most joyful lives.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful. And I'm so glad I can talk about this.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll be back again next week with another awesome guest to share her Suburban Warrior experience with us. And in the meantime, be sure to follow us at Suburban Warrior on Instagram, TikTok, and Sarah Saw on Instagram, right?
Yes. Sarah Sall Massage. Yeah.
Sarah Saw Massage. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week.